Hi, everybody. Monday on Astral Oracles. It's very, very good to be with you on this early Monday morning where the bird is getting the worm. Though we are not putting our beak to the ground, but we are putting them. We're putting them to the stars. So we're going to the Orion Stargate. I'm sitting here with the crystal that some of you may recognize. This wonderfully charged crystal from Jana's Stargate down in the lowlands. And it's connected directly to the Keepers of the Stargate, these Orion Keepers who are kind of guardians constructed by the Intergalactic Council to guard this connection. And I just sense there's something coming through there that they want to communicate to us about reopenings, changed energies, and the position of the world. So I'll also assume that if you're someone who keeps up with astrology a lot, there's probably a whole lot of interesting things going on right now as well. Um, but regardless of how you're doing and the energies are working with you out there, I hope you're feeling connected. So much love to you out there. The energy that we wish to transmit to you exists on a frequency band that is incompatible with the frequencies that have hitherto been dominating the grids you have been existing in. That is, the grid works that you have been existing in. We shall name these A3 and D7. These two particular quadrants, they have grown stale in their configurations. They are outdated and they need to be phased out. In response to this, we are offering you the access to the grid work that we could term E57. These are all numerologies that you don't need to concern yourself with. It is simply to give you the understanding, the precision that we understand these grid works with is rather mathematical, completely mapped out to us, where you may sense, oh, things are stirring in the ethers, things are strange, things are changing, the planets are either aligning or mismatching, things are either wonky or lining up. We sense clear quadrants, we sense clear energies embedded within energies. And so, hail and greetings to you from the Stargate, from the edge of our galaxy. We, the Guardians, we come here with our protectorship. You sense in our energy that we wish you well, and it is with these well wishes that we greet you. Now understand that as a expression of this energy that you have changed to this grid that we then termed E57, this grid of aligned energies that you entered into on this date of your time, May 5th, 2023. This grid, it is constituted by your positioning yourself within systems of coherent manifestation. You sometimes know these systems as societies. That is, you could call societies collective manifestations. But we don't mean to imply that you are in that way entering into, let's call it a contract, let's call it a negotiation between you and the wider world. Rather, what we are saying is that you will find that the structures that you are being embedded in now are collective in their outlook. They are interpersonally conscious. That is, you will find that it is this type of, let's call it, hypostasized awareness that is beginning to manifest itself. You know this awareness as AI, but notice that so many times you make up quite insufficient terms for quite astounding new inventions. So, for instance, you may have heard of the horseless carriage. Well, it took you a while to get used to the changes that the car brought about in your world, and now you would have it no other way. So the pressures that are being put on you, or that you are sensing in the reconfiguration of your space, is, for instance, that you will have to sign over ideas of the safety within personal autonomy to the safety within belonging to a system of shared consent. So notice, for instance, the capacity that these types of electronic intelligences have to manage your traffic grids, these systems, far better than a set of individuals, each tied to their own wheel in their own car, working their own transmissions, distracted by their own radio, cell phones, and maybe discontent small family members crying in the back. So many things can go wrong for an individual, whereas this hypermind also allows you to be set free to do what you actually do very well as human individuals. And that is, you become stewards, you become connectors of energies that seem separate. So, in your wider expansion as a species, you return also to this harmonic vision of the garden or the civilized city with the cultivated greenery in its midst, where all these separate spaces of civilization and the wild flow together in true culture, in true aware cultivation. This is what you're moving towards, and this is the shift that your mind states are shifting towards. You may notice that a symptom of this for many of you have been a tendency towards over analysis, to hyper analysis, to overthinking, you could call it, trying to make sense of things by bombing a lot of successive thoughts into that space. And what you are finding is that it is better for you to sign over a lot of processes to, let's call them external sources, and then be quite disciplined in what things you address and what things you can meaningfully relate to at this moment. Because there is this grown sense of the organic fluency of life, the significance that arises from the lived life, as you also become more and more seated in your expansive natures and accept the changing realities around you without necessarily having to control them. So you are all moving and have moved greatly and stirred greatly. And so in these reopenings of the grid, because these are truly reopenings, you will find that what you're moving into at this present moment corresponds to the Atlantean grid. We use this term E57. You will find that the Atlantean grids, our terminology staying here, lies within this frequency range and then moves into a frequency grid that could also be termed F31. But these are nuances that you do not need to comprehend. What you do need to comprehend is these visions that are returning to you, partially from past lives, but also partially from a sense of another way of relating technologically to the world, another way of relating spiritually to the great whole of reality, another way of relating emotionally to animals and the other living beings that share this world, another way of relating organically to crops, to living systems, to plants and other life forms, algae, fungi, other living beings. You are discovering that these relationships are changing for you and that they are changing in the human collective as a whole. You may sense that these changes are moving quite rapidly. And from the fear responses that you have been collectively shocking yourself aware with, you will find that you are now moving into this type of steely resolve that lies beyond the first waves of grief that follow any type of crisis, loss, fear. And therefore, you are becoming far more capable in retrieving the information you need, letting these systems of retrieval, these interactive organic systems of mentation that you are developing, becoming extensions of you and allowing you to cultivate the human overmind, allowing you to cultivate the finer instincts within the condition of humanity. So this is the message that we, the Orion Stargate keepers, are sharing with you this day, communicating with you, beaming in. And we are doing this for the explicit reason that you should understand that these grid works are moving with a type of mathematical precision, and that the fluctuations that you may experience personally are actually embedded within a movement towards greater harmony, towards you as a person being embedded within systems, realities, energies, vibrations that connect to a more harmonious, a more loving, a more bright and high vibing quality of reality, a texture of the cosmos itself that has changed for you. So with that, and with the sublime love of Source beaming from every galactic center into the great hidden galactic void of this universe, we, the Orion Stargate keepers, we transmit our benedictions, and we will let you know that you are on track. Farewell. They were interesting to connect to. And I had the misfortune, I hope you enjoyed that message. I had the misfortune of this one snapping, I think perhaps traveling back and forward from Mexico or something. But I'm going to, over at the sister channel, Mind the Wild, I'm going to ask the crystal channel it about why it breaks, because crystal quartz has a tendency to behave oddly for me and for other people. So you can follow over there too, and much love to you out there.